Hello. Hello, Jillian, darling. I'll be back in 5. At least I'm on tonight on time. Tell people when they get on. I'll be right back. All right. All right. Okay. All right. I figured out why I'm not feeling this good singing, and then I realized because I'm hunched over, and if I'm sitting on this, I'll be a lot better off. And then I'll elevate this, which will look weird, I know, but I know what I can do. I can. So that it won't be so weird here. Okay. Just a moment. I just thought of that. Said, I don't like to sit in a chair when I sing. I either uh, either like to that's but it would be better if it were like this. Well, let's just live with it for tonight. And I may sit down again, but I'm liking this. Well, I know that a lot of you just assumed that I'd be horrifically late. But I did the technology earlier, and I'm getting better. We're teaching an old dog new tricks. And where's my capo? And here's my capo. And I'll tune my guitar. Thanks. Oh yes, Christopher. I will have a good show. Oh, and Judy Poole. Yes, I have to call you up and tell you. Hang on, that if you sign off, please call Judy Poole.
Calling Judy Poole, home.
Okay, hang on.
The only call I answer.
Well, there you go. Now you are being listened to by a bunch of people here. You're being listened to by a bunch of people here because I am on the air and I'm giving you instructions how to get on the air live right now. If you go off the link that you're on and click on again, you will automatically go to tonight's broadcast, and I've just started it. So give it a try and call me up if it doesn't work.
Tell a caregiver here what you said to me.
Oh my God. Everybody's waiting. Everybody's waiting.
Hold on. Janet, I need you right here.
Yes, Janet.
Hold on. It's Peter.
Judy is very, very, very ill.
Hello?
Janet, it's Peter Yarrow. I'm right now broadcasting, and people are watching this, doing it. In order for Judy to get the broadcast, she has to log out, and then she can log in again, and she will automatically get me on the line. And if that
she needs to log out of where?
where she on her phone. She's been watching my just talk to her about how she got on before, get off, and do it again. But I got to go to the people now. I can't discuss it more, darling.
Okay, no.
Okay. All right. You know what I thought I'd do tonight? I really love this idea. In 1959, this is quite a story, and I'll tell you what happened. In 1959, I graduated in the summer of 1959, and well, in the fall, I guess, and then I went to Greenwich Village. And while I was in Greenwich Village, I know that looks a little weird. Tomorrow I'll get it elevated and it won't look as if I'm singing from Olympian Heights. But I was playing in the Cafe Wa, and Albert Grossman came in. And Albert was managing at the time Odetta, who was the queen of folk music. He had worked with Theodore Bickel. He was working with Joan Baez. Josh, I think he'd done some work with Josh White. And Bob Gibson. And he was one of the two, had been one of the two owners of the Chicago-based folk club called The Gate of Horn. And where's my... I swear to God, you were up here before. My thumb pick. Can anybody get me a thumb pick? Where is that thumb pick? Oh my God. All right. I can't believe it. I could survive without a thumb pick. Why did it go? So I came in to the Cafe Wa, which was in a cellar, and Lou Gossett was also performing there. Hugh Romney, who you may know as Wavy Gravy. One time, I got a call from the office saying, there's a very peculiar call coming in. We've got an ice cream flavor on the phone. And it was Wavy Gravy, who was at that time Hugh Romney, and he was reading poetry. And there was a light show. It was like a bit of a circus. But it was Odetta had played in the Cafe Wa, and it was terrific. Across the street there was the Gaslight, where Noel Paul Stuckey was not only performing, but the guitar looks very big in this. All right, let me move this out just a little bit to be a little less there. All right. So Albert, he walked out in the middle of my set, and I was a little crestfallen, but heck, it was all good. I was in love with what I was doing, and I was making at least $30 a night from the split hat. That was where people would offer money. Well, as fate would have it, okay, it's Tony. Tony, I gotta take it. Yes, Tony, what's cooking? I'm on the phone. Okay. I can't do it. All right. Thanks. Okay. Bye. Oh yeah, the light is better because the screen sees that light and then it does a better job of of the whole deal. All right. That's good. All right. Right. So Albert Grossman. Now I was so eager to play that I went for an audition at a place called the Back Door, BAQ Door, at 57th Street and 6th Avenue. And I got there and they said, but we're closing this week, so we can't hire you. I said, I don't care. I just want to play. I want to play and I'll play for you. And I did. And as fate would have it, there was somebody in the audience who was Robert. He was the associate producer of Robert. Hi, sweetheart. I'm on the air. Yes, I'm on the air. Oh, yeah, I will call you. Sure, I'd love for you. You could come in if you want. Okay. Robert, well, at any rate, Bob Herridge, come take the other seat or come in. I'm trying up here because I think I'll sing more easily.
I like it up here.
Okay. So that's Bethany, as you know. So I don't even know if you know this story. I was auditioning at the Back Door, which was a tiny little boîte on 57th Street. And I had just graduated from Cornell, and I was in the Village, and then I was auditioning this other little place, and they said, no, we're closing up next week. You can't. So I said, no, well, I'll play. And I played, and the songs that I sang, Robert Herridge's associate director for a program that was going to be called Folk Sound USA, which was the first television special in America that had on it John Jacob Niles, John Lee Hooker, Earl Scruggs, Cisco Houston, who was a friend and companion of and fellow strong worker with Pete Seeger and Woody Guthrie. So, and Joan Baez, who was managed by Albert Grossman. No, they tried to get Odetta. But there was a conflict or something. And so they had somebody by the name of Casey Anderson, who was not Odetta. And let's leave it at that. So in any event, so there was this other producer. He may still be with us because he was quite young. And I got a call from him because he saw me. And he said, I want you to play on this. I'm the associate producer and director with Robert Herridge, who was very famous for the Robert Herridge Theater. And I said, okay. I auditioned and I was accepted. And here from nothing, I was on this first nationally televised folk television special. That's quite something. And the little bit of it that you might have seen was on Peter, Paul, and Mary's, not the last, but the next to the last TV show. Anyhow, I got a call from Albert Grossman after I did that. Joan Baez was on it. There's so much more to this story. And Albert called me and he said, you've got to come to my apartment, which is at 50 Central Park West, which is one of the great buildings. And Albert was there. And he asked me if we could work together. And it was Albert and Ed Sarkeesian and George Wein that formed the first folk festival in the summer of 1959. And by that time, and he asked me to play. And I got Dick Rosmini to join me, who was a great guitarist. And I played 4 songs And I don't know. I didn't know whether I was bombing or I was anything. I didn't know what I was doing. I was, here was this big, but I played these songs. But let me tell you the songs that can you see if you can see the thumb pick? I've apparently lost it. I can't believe that, but, oh, wait a second. I bet it's in my pocket because I do need, yes. All right.
And here's the other pick.
That's the flat pick, yes. Okay. Okay, here we go. But I like the matchbook here. A long time before you heard this song. It's called Scarborough Fair, and I sang it at Romp and Stomp at Cornell University, the folk class where I had and it was Professor Howard Thompson that introduced me. Scarborough Fair, you know it as by another name, but that. Where are you going? To Scarborough Fair. Parsley, sage, and rosemary and thyme. Remember me to a lass who lives there. For once she was the true love of mine. I'm going to do that again because I haven't played it in 50 years. Where are you going? To Scarborough Fair. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to a bonny lass there. For once she was a true love of mine. Tell her to, let me tell her.
To make me a Cambridge shirt.
Yeah, but how did that come about? Because she didn't just tell. Oh, yes. Tell her to knit me a Cambridge shirt. Parsley, sage. Tell her to knit me a Cambridge shirt. Parsley, sage, and rosemary and thyme. Without any needle or thread or ribbon, and then she shall be a true love of mine. And tell her to wash it in yonder well. Parsley, sage, and rosemary and thyme. With water something, and rain never fell. And then this is a good idea, but I should have rehearsed them and remembered. Then she was a true love of mine. Where are you going? To Scarborough Fair. Parsley, sage, and rosemary and thyme. Remember me to a bonny lass there. For once she was a true love of mine. Okay, I'm going to do that again in another week or two. And I'll have rehearsed it. I'll know what I'm doing. But anyhow, that was one of the songs. But the other one that I do remember, because I have sung it more recently than 50 years, I'm relying on this reptilian memory to work. But this is a great song. And it was, I think it was one of the reasons that Albert asked me to if he could manage me. And of course, it was Albert who had the idea to make Peter, Paul, and Mary happen. And I'll tell you that story after this song. As I was going over Gilgara Mountain, I spied Colonel Farrell and his money he was counting. First, let me take it down. If we're going to sing it together, I should do it much lower so then we can sing it together. As I was going over Gilgara Mountain, I spied Colonel Farrell and his money he was counting. First I drew me pistols, and then I drew me rapier, saying, "Stand and deliver, for I am bold deceiver, musha-ring-dum-dum-da." Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Can they see you? Let me see if they can see you. I want to make sure. He counted out his money and it made a pretty penny. I put it in my pocket to take home to darling Jenny. She sighed, swore she loved me and never would deceive me. But the devil take the women, they always lie so easy. Musha-ring-dum-dum-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Next morning early, before I rose to travel, up came a banquet footman and likewise Colonel Farrell. I goes to draw me pistol, for she stole away me rapier. But a prisoner I was taken, I couldn't shoot the water. Musha-ring-dum-dum-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Next morning early, before I rose to travel, up came a band of footmen and likewise Colonel Farrell. I goes to draw me pistol, for she stole away me rapier. But a prisoner I was taken, I couldn't shoot the water. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, they put me into jail with the judge on a writing for robbing Colonel Farrell on Gilgara Mountain. But they didn't take me fists, so I knocked the jailer down and bid a farewell to this tight-fisted town. Musha-ring-dum-dum-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Why do you know it? I forgot the earlier part. I counted out my money and it made a pretty penny, and I put it in my pocket to take home to darling Jenny. She sighed and swore she loved me and never would deceive me. But the devil take the women, for they always lie so easy. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Oh, I did sing that verse before, but I like singing it. So anyhow, he gets, Colonel Farrell comes, and they get him, and he can't shoot the water. And you see, and Jenny stole his pistols, so, and you know, he stole away his rapier, but she filled his pistols full of water. And then it continues on, and they throw him into, but he knocks the jailer down. And then he goes, he says, well, this is my favorite part. Well, I like to find me brother. He's the one that's in the army. I don't know where he's stationed, in Cork or in Killarney. Together we go roaming o'er the mountains of Kilkenny, and I swear he'd treat me fairer than me darling sporting Jenny was sharing around Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. There's some takes delight in the carriages and rolling, some takes delight in the hurley or the bowling, but I takes delight in the juice of the barley, courting pretty maids in the morning, oh, so early. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there is whiskey in the jar. Wish I bring the rum down. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
Yay!
Anyhow,
I love you.
Oh, you're gonna go?
I'm gonna go.
Do you want to do one song that we can sing with him, because I want to sing?
Okay, and one song.
Okay,
and
one
then I
song,
go.
one sing. Okay. This is a very good, because we started, and this when Pete Seeger was in the hospital, and I got a call that he was not long, and I was getting on a plane in Tel Aviv. It's another long story. I got to New York. I went to the hospital, and there he was. And I went, and they said, Katama said, you got to bring your instrument. He wants to hear music. So I got up, and I knew which song I wanted to sing. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Well, the Union is behind us. We shall not be moved. The Union is behind us. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We're singing for our front lines. We shall not be moved. We're singing for our front lines. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not not be, we shall not,
We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved.
we're marching for our children, we shall not be moved. We're watching for our children, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree
That's standing by the water.
we shall not be moved.
For our doctors and our nurses, we shall not be moved. For our doctors and our nurses, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not,
We shall not,
we shall not, we shall not be
we
moved.
shall not be,
We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water.
we shall not
be moved.
in memory.
Never stop your singing, we shall not be moved. Never stop your singing,
We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the
water.
We shall not be. Here's one, a personal one for me. I'm thinking of my roommate. He's gone right now. For Larry Glassberg, here's our song. Memoriam, what a good human being. My brother was a doctor. He died from the virus yesterday. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not
be moved,
just like a tree
that's standing by the water.
We shall not be, and we shall not be divided.
We shall not be moved. We shall not be divided. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be
Moved. Yay. Mwah. Mwah. I love you, my sweet.
Love you, everybody.
Thank you for coming to sing with me.
Oh,
I'm sorry I was so crashing on the first song particularly, but
No,
What
and
the
I
heck?
wanted to say it's the songs that I grew up with, because I remember when I was in second, third, fourth, and fifth grade, then my dad would come in and sing these songs. So they're so nice to hear you sing them again. It reminds me of being in the fourth grade.
I didn't realize that. I was astonished that you knew the words to a Scarborough Fair.
Yeah, that was the first version I heard. I never heard of the
Whoever
other
it was.
people else singing
The other
it.
people, yes.
I knew my dad's version.
Right.
Okay, I love you all.
I love you, my
I
sweetheart.
love you all.
Here's another one that I sang then. Okay, it goes like this. This was at the festival. And it has a chorus, and I got everybody to sing. Oh, where you gonna run? When the world's on fire, don't you want God's bosom to be your pillow? Oh, tie me over in the rock of ages, the rock of ages, cleft for me. Oh, my loving mother, when the world's on fire, don't you want God's bosom to be your pillow? Oh, tie me over in the rock of ages now, rock of ages. For me, so you get it's the same lyric again and again, but it gets intense. The other song that I was thinking of that I haven't done for so long was Rock My Soul in the Bosom of Abraham, which was a great song that I did with and recorded with and performed in the time Peter Pome's Rock My Soul in the Bosom of Abraham, rock my soul, the bosom of Abraham, rock my soul, the bosom of Abraham, oh, rock my soul. Okay, half of the room sings that. The other half of the room sings, so high, I can't get over it, so I can't get under it, so high, I can't get round it, oh, rockin' my. And the third part is like this. And then I will sing all three parts because I'm getting very skilled at doing this. Rock my soul, rock my soul, rock my soul, rock my soul in the bosom of Abraham, so low I can't get under it, so high I can't get round it, oh, rockin' my soul. And I'll do it sometime with Bethany when we're doing the two parts. So the song that I just sang, and I hope Judy Poole is on it. Judy has been struggling with a terrible, terrible illness. And I knew her, I've known her for many, many years, and she was an activist, and she worked on the Hill, and she's a very close friend of Carl Rogers, whom I am remembering now, who we lost a couple of years ago. And Deborah Wiley, I hope we've reached you to Deborah and he were married and they had a son, Nicholas, and I'm sending you love, Nicholas. And we were very political, very activist, and Judy remains that in her heart. And I know that that song was important to her as it was to me, and that's why I sang it for Pete, because it was that first Union song, you know. That, but I'm going to sing a little bit of another Union song, and you can sing the chorus. Once was a Union, once was a Union maid who never was afraid of the ghouls and the ginks and the company pinks and the deputy sheriffs that made the raids. Went to the room, went to the Union Hall, where a meeting it was called. And when the company boys came round, she always stood her ground. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union till the day I die. This Union maid was wise to the tricks of the company's skies. She couldn't be fooled by the company's stool. She'd always organize the guys. She'd always get her way. When it came to better play, pay, she'd show her card to the company guard, and this is what she'd say. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. It's called Union Maid. Come on, let's sing that together. Let's say, oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the union till the day I die. So anyhow, this was a great union song too. And as I'm thinking about it, you know, one of the things that we're dealing with here that is part of the cause of this skewing of the time in which we live, the coronavirus indeed as part of it, and I read an interesting article about that. There's a woman that wrote a book 10 years ago saying that the kind of the way we were living our lives was inevitably, she's a virologist, and it was going to lead to this. And people have been predicting this and predicting it and predicting it. And they've had these special sections of the government that were committed to anticipating and tracking potential viruses and preparedness for them. And our particular entity that was committed to that was disbanded by the current administration. But one of the things that has caused this is the fact of the disparity between the extraordinarily wealthy and those who are they're without the power to be together. That's what the union movement did. If you were just living in a family and you wanted equity to exist, you would say, look, we have to make sure that we don't have a king in this family. We've got to have some equity in the people who are having less. And that's what indigenous people did. They made sure there was equity. They had, in effect, ways of empowering people who didn't have the money, the power, but who had a voice. And they did that by collectively saying, we will have a voice together. That's what a union did. And that's why the wages, for instance, in Wisconsin that got decimated when the unions were broken up. It's been going on for a long, long time. Now, I know there have been perversions of the unions, and I know that, greed is, there are idealists who become greedy. There are left-wingers, right-wingers, centrists who become greedy. And it is one of the great challenges of the world. But the idea of people, ordinary people, grassroots people having power, that was the union movement, that was the civil rights movement, that was the women's movement, and that's, call it by any name you want. But we are going to have to return to a time when people who have less are not disempowered the way they are now. So that's what those union songs are about. And then here's a bit of a talking union song. And it kind of spells out the philosophy. And Pete Seeger recorded this, and I'm not sure. I think Woody Guthrie wrote it. If you want higher wages, you want to know where Bob Dylan, and because this was where Woody would do it. If you want higher wages, let me tell you what to do. You got to talk to the workers in the shop with you. You got to build you a union, got to make it strong. But if you all stick together, boys, it won't be long. You get shorter hours, better working conditions, vacations with pay. Take the kids to the seashore. Well, it ain't quite as simple, ain't quite as simple, so I better explain just why you gotta ride on the union train. Cause if you wait for the boss to raise your pay, you'll all be waiting till the judgment day. You'll all be buried. St. Peter will be the straws then, boys. Well, you're underpaid, but the boss says you ain't. You see, he speeds up the work and you're about to faint. You may be down and out, but you ain't beaten. You can pass out a leaflet and call a meeting, talk it over. Decide to do something about it. Of course, the boss may persuade some poor damn fool to come to the meeting and act like a stool, but you can always tell a stool, though. That's that. Got a yellow streak running down his back. He doesn't have to stool. He'll always get along. But when he takes out a blind man's cups. Well, what was it? They're sitting pretty, but now he's got a steering committee. So that's that song. But here's a song. Here's one. Here's a one for now. If you want a raise in pay, all you have to do is go and ask the boss for it. He will give it to you. There were no women bosses there. He will give it to you, my boys. He will give it to you. A raise in pay without delay. He will give it to you. Oh, put it on the ground, spread it all around, dig it with a hoe, and it will make your flowers grow. Oh, the men that own the industries, they own no bonds and stocks, own no gems and limousines, gems the size of rocks. They know no big estates with pools or silk and DVDs, because they pay the working men such fancy salaries. Oh, put it on the ground, spread it all around, dig it with a hoe, and it will make your flowers grow. Whoa! You gotta go down and join the union. You got to join it by yourself. Ain't nobody here gonna join it for you. You gotta go down and join the union by yourself. And that's the same as you got to walk that lonesome valley. So there are many other. I'll do another union song that I really love. It goes, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side? Okay, enough of union songs. But it's kind of a little bit. I've got so many songs. The amazing thing is that I did forget Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme, or Scarborough Fair. That's true. There are other songs I'm yearning to sing Lord Randall for you, because that was the basis. The song that Patti Smith sang at when Bob Dylan got the Nobel Peace Prize. Where have you been, my blue-eyed son? Well, it came from this, and I'm not being critical of that, but I'm saying that Bob Dylan absorbed all this literature, and it comes out, and it kept coming out. Have you seen his 17-minute song about? Well, it's about many things, and oh, by the way, what I'm thinking about tonight, it's breaking my heart. The president, the CEO of Operation Respect, the nonprofit that we started 20 years ago. It's anti-bullying. Chick Dombach was our great CEO for a while, and after he withdrew. Yeah, I'm live on the. Are you coming back?
Yes, I have a special request from Nancy Bagley. I was just going to the barn.
Okay.
Finishing my nightly chores.
Okay. Well, let me first tell you this thing, because we've had a horrible tragedy yesterday. Kathleen Kennedy Townsend was our CEO. Not for a long time. She had lost the gubernatorial election and was devastated by it, and so were we. But she took the helm of the organization, and Chick actually introduced us, and we had some rugged times, but we loved each other, and we've acknowledged that. Well, she had the most devastating of experiences. Her daughter died in a boating accident with her son-in-law. The Kennedys are the inheritors of. No, wait a second. No, yes, that's the granddaughter of Robert Kennedy, because Kathleen Kennedy Townsend. So I wrote something that I sent out that I'm going to be sending to Kathleen. But I want to sing a song for her and for the family and for her husband with all my love. Death don't have no mercy in this land. Death don't have no mercy in this land. Come to your house and it won't stay long. You look in your bed and your mama will be gone. Death don't have no mercy in this land. Death don't have no mercy in this land. Death will leave you crying in this land. Death will leave you crying. Come to your house and it won't stay long. Look out your bed and your mother is gone. Well, death will leave you crying in this light. He will come to your house and you won't stay long. Look in your bed and your father is gone. Well, death don't have no mercy in this life. Death don't have no mercy in this land. Death don't have no mercy. Kathleen, we're mourning with you, my friend, now. In this land, Kathleen, we pray with you. Your daughter's heart, we share with you our sorrow. There don't have no mercy in no mercy. Kathleen. It's unimaginable to lose your daughter, 40 years old. Unimaginable, sweetheart. And you lost your father, you know. So our hearts are with you. And but we must turn this. And this is a song for Judy Poole that you said that you. Oh, it was a lovely story. I was talking to Judy. I do most days, but I'm unreliable about it. But my heart is there, and I hope you're listening, Judy. If not, you're going to see it later or hear it later. There's a. She said she was taking a class in which she was asked to do something that she absolutely could not do, and of course that thing was. Sing a song. So she chose the song, and I never knew this. She chose the song, Leave Me the Sunshine. And it is appropriate now because it says, they say that the tree of loving grows on the bank of the river of suffering, the suffering of my friends, the suffering of my roommates. There were four of us, Lenny and Larry, who passed, who's a doctor. Lenny was a engineering physics major, and then he was in a theater, and he went to Israel, and then he went into the financial world. And then Harvey Freeman, my beloved friend, who married a friend of mine from elementary school, I introduced him, and Harvey became an attorney, and Mary Goodkind Freeman became a therapist, and we lived 2 blocks apart when I was growing up. So I'm saying this to all of us here because, as we were writing to Larry's son, Michael, and I said maybe if there's a memorial service, maybe I'll come and virtually sing a song for Larry. And Harvey said, in a return, I can't sing a song, but I can cry. They say that the tree of loving shine on me again, grows on the bank of the river of suffering. Shine on me again. Weave me the sunshine under the falling rain. Let me take that. It lower. It's too high for us to sing together. And I want it to be right. And I want it to be right for Lenny. I want it to be right for Michael, Larry's son, and Joan and his wife, and I want it to be right for Mary Goodkind, and I want it to be right. They say that the tree of loving shine on me again. They say it grows on the bank of the river of suffering. Shine on me again now. Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. Sing it with us. Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow.
Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again.
If only I could heal the sorrow.
Shine on me again. Help you find a new tomorrow.
Shine
on me again.
Shine on me again now.
Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again.
I've seen the steel and the concrete crumble. Shine on me again.
Proud and the mighty that all have stumbled. Shine on me again.
Now gotta stand up because I'm feeling better singing, not seated but standing now. Weave the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. Only you can climb the mountain.
Shine on me again.
If you want to drink out of the golden fountain, shine on me again. Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. Right. And now I want to read you something that was posted by.
But I'm going to escape to the barn because I
Okay,
have to
my
go
darling. Okay, my
do my
sweetheart.
thing, and I
Oh
love
my
you.
God, you
I love
just gave me
singing
the
with you.
virus.
I'm sorry I gave you a kiss, but we've
This is
been
the
in
first.
quarantine.
This is 3
for
weeks
almost
without
3
a kiss.
weeks.
All right. Let me read you something that was
Love
so
to,
extraordinary.
I love you. Abby.
I love you too, my sweetheart. Let me read you this because it's so powerful. I have to share this with you. It's too amazing. And it's so beautiful. And I'm going to sit down again. And then here. It's so fantastically powerful. And I sent it out to some dear friends, and I've gotten some beautiful comments, but it was coupled with an extraordinary piece of writing by Maria Shriver, who's, of course, it's all family. But here is what was said. And okay, there it is. Okay, here it is. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. There we go. Keeping on. Here we are. Here it is. All right. Wendy Brooks, I hope you're there. I sent this to you earlier, and I know I said you'd be on tonight. Okay. This is what Maeve's post was, I think the day before she passed. She died. When this is over, it was written by Laura Kelly Fanucci. It was in Maria Shriver's Sunday paper, which is really, I'd never heard of it, and I looked through it, and it's amazing. It says, when this is over, may we never again take for granted a handshake with a stranger, full shelves at the store, conversations with neighbors, a crowded theater, Friday night out, the taste of communion, a routine checkup, the school rush each morning, coffee with a friend, the stadium roaring, each deep breath, a boring Tuesday, life itself. When this ends, may we find that we have become more like the people we wanted to be. We were called to be. We hoped to be. And may we stay that way, better for each other because of the worst. So you know what she was inheriting. She was inheriting this incredible reality. And this is what Maria Shriver posted. She said, and at the top it says, "Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door." Emma Lazarus wrote that. This was the week when I really it really dawned on me that life is never going to go back to normal. Well, at least it won't be normal, the normal we knew just a few short weeks ago. It wasn't any one thing that made me come to this realization. Let's just say that there were enough different things this week that brought me to this place. The rise of infections, the doomsday predictions that the worst is yet to come, the pictures of makeshift hospitals and funeral homes, and the new recommendations to wear face masks if you go out of your house, the rise of domestic abuse cases, and the startling number of 10 million new unemployment claims. In the last few weeks alone, 10 million people in the US have filed for unemployment benefits. 10 million individuals, 10 million of our neighbors, our friends, our fellow families. It seems like almost every conversation I had this week involves heartache and loss. The loss of a job, the loss of a business, the loss of a dream, the loss of a friend, and in my own family, the loss of a child and a grandchild. Which made me realize that you can't even grieve normally at this time. In this time of Corona, you can't gather to console. You can't put your arms around someone to comfort them as they sob uncontrollably. You can't get on the plane and fly out to be by your loved one's side. And for many, they can't even be present when a loved one goes. It all feels beyond comprehension. As this week came to a close, I find myself talking late into the night with my youngest son, a senior in college, about this surreal moment in his life and the life of all those who were expecting to graduate and head out into the booming economy to pursue their dreams. Both under a stay-at-home order, we spoke about this pain and hardship he was witnessing firsthand in Michigan, where he is at school. He spoke about the reality that there are now no jobs to go to and how the sobering reality has sunk in for everyone he knows. My heart breaks for him. It breaks for my friends who had to lay off everyone who worked for them. It breaks for my cousin and her family. It just keeps breaking day after day as I listen to the tired friends, scared people, and anxious voices. But today is Palm Sunday, and Easter Sunday is a week away. See, so this just came out this morning. This week is the beginning of Holy Week, a time of spiritual renewal and rebirth. So I'm taking that as a sign that we aren't meant to go back to what was. We are meant to go forward, both individually and collectively. Each of us will come out of this time a different person, a changed human being. How could we not? What a double tragedy it would be if we were to go back to the way we were. To a time when we didn't care for our planet, to a time when we were so mean to one another, to a time when we were so divided in every way, to a time when we didn't know our neighbors, to a time when so many only cared about themselves and saw others as the other. I know this time has been brutal in every way for just about everyone, financially, spiritually, mentally, physically. I know some are hurting more than others. But this time of the pandemic has also renewed my faith in my fellow human beings. I am awestruck at the selflessness displayed on an hourly basis, the heroism displayed everywhere you look, the kindness and generosity everywhere you turn. I have no idea where it will end up, but I find myself thinking a lot about the power of the small gestures, the individual things we do that we can do to make life a little bit better for another human being. That's why this week here at the Sunday paper, which is where this is published, we're going to start a once a day service challenge. See below for how you can join. We hope to challenge ourselves and this community to do something once a day for someone else. It doesn't have to be big or expensive. It can be simply checking in on somebody by calling or texting, taking a social distance walk with somebody, dropping off food for someone, donating to a cause, making a mask for someone. The list goes on. It's something we can each look back on when this is all over and say, wow, I did something once a day for another person, and that felt awesome. Moments or experiences like this change all of us, and I'm trying to look at that as a good thing. I want to come out of this and one day be able to tell my grandchildren when I have them what it was all like. I want to be able to tell them about how people rose up and helped one another. I want them to know that those who survived did so in part because so many people stayed home and also because so many others went to work to save the lives of those they didn't know. I want them to know that when it was over, the world was a different place, a kinder, gentler, wiser, more compassionate, more loving, more caring, more empathetic place. When I see a little girl, when I was a little girl, my father spoke about enlisting in the Navy to serve his country and about how his family lost everything in the Great Depression. He told me it forged his character, deepened his faith, and led him to his life's work of service. I'm trying to keep that in the front of mind. It's what happened. It's what keeps me hopeful. It's what keeps me moving forward. There is strength and resilience in all of us. Remember that, and know that each of us has a torch to hold high, just like Lady Liberty, that can light the path forward for our families, for our communities, and for our country. Never forget, we are the land of the brave. Every single one of us is brave. We are going to get through this. There is no doubt in my mind we are going to come out of this on the other side. We are not going back to the way things were. We are not supposed to. We are going to rise. Our future is ahead. So while we may be staying in place right now, remember that an act of service, that is an act of service. And don't ever doubt that your act of service and so many others are in fact the very acts that are creating our future. Maria Shriver. Oof. So I was so moved by that. And now I'm going to sing you a song to wind this up, but I wanted to share it with you because it really moved me. I was there this morning. I know the time is late and people are going, but I'm with you and just getting back to seeing you. All right, here we are. All right, let me just sing a good night song. What is it? That I was thinking of. I've sung this song and I'll sing it again in the place where I lived, in the wild windy range, in the month called April, the county called Gray. Here's what all of the people there say. Well, it's so long. It's been good to know you. So long. It's been good to know you. So long. It's been good to know you. This dusty old dust is again my home. And I got to be driven the magic dragon lived by the sea, frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper, he loved that rascal Puff, and brought in strings and sealing wax and other fancy. Now you sing it with me. In a land all Puff, the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sails. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whene'er they came. Pirate ships would lower their flags when Puff roared out his name. Hi there! Hi. I like you a lot, even though you're pirates, and you're really pirates, aren't you? Yes, you are. So here we sing together now. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. The dragon lives forever, but not so little girls and boys. Painted wings and giant's rings make way for other toys. One gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more, and Puff, that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. His head was bent in sorrow, green scales fell like rain. Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his cave. Puff, the magic dragon, he lived by the sea, and he frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, still lives by the sea, and he frolics in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. All right, my friends. So this was a pretty good lesson for me. There are certain songs I shouldn't sing if I haven't sung them for over 5 decades. I can't trust my memory to be that comprehensive right away. I'll run them down in the future, and I'm going to sing you a good version, a very moving version of Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme, better known in the Renaissance as Scarborough Fair, or maybe a little later than the Renaissance. So, a lot of love. Let me say just a little bit to some of you who are there. Thank you so much for being with me. And I'm going to leave you now as I do, it's 10:25. At 10:30, I'll come back and turn off the feed. And this is virtual kisses and hugs and all that. And isn't Bethany something else? Oh, there was one thing that I wanted to mention. There was somebody, one of Christopher's dear friends, who who was did a podcast, and she was so sweet, and her name is Namely Brennett, and she had a concert at 7 p.m. New York time, and I watched a part of it, and she was great. So that's a shout out for you, because your songs are beautiful, and your heart and your poetry is beautiful, my friends. So onward. I'll see you in a couple of days. Where if you have my email addresses, most of you. If you have people that you want me to put on the list to invite, just send that to me, and then they'll be automatically on the list because it's now done electronically. I design those so they're different each night that I do a sing along. Tonight was less of a sing along and more of a reminiscence for me. And then it's after I've done that, I send it to Elizabeth Kolodny, who's an angel and bears with me because I get so crazy frustrated if things just break down for some reason. You know, this is pretty homemade stuff over here. Oh, and also I'm going to post next time some pictures of this room, that window, and that wall, and that wall, and this wall, and that's where it all happens. So, what the heck, my friends? You know, for me, I want to tell you, by doing this each night, I don't feel so lonely. I feel connected to you all. And last night we had a private for a group in Pittsburgh, where I sang for them because we're building an event, and some of the Parkland students were on. Sophia was on the line, and so was Peyton, and so was Nicole. And okay, take care, and I'll be back in a little bit. I spoke for another, so I'll be back in 5 minutes. can't believe you're not receiving the notifications, dear. I'm sure that you put your on this. I believe that maybe you have the wrong email address, but I'm going to make sure that you are notified as are these other folks that are watching. And thank you for your very service and your love. You have to have a lot of love for this. I don't know that. I understand. See, it's Christ why because of the days that said. But in the future, I think we will develop the system so that we have appropriate expectations. And how well that we have clear expectations. Sure, we won't go through that. Very clear to you. You know, it's doing it and or not doing it. But, notwithstanding all that, it's not that it's acceptance that you're kind of close to time running is absolutely essential. Good. I think I'm going to follow some of these because this spending too much time with the energy and going too upset. So experience. Then I just do the look around. Oh my goodness, I forgot to come back. I got absorbed. Good night, my brothers and sisters.